It's hard out here for a pimp. Dystopian doesn't give dystopian anymore. Oh, you gotta get this money for a pimp. What do you want? Where were the cops? I'm scared. Speak through the glass. I didn't give a hoot about this book. I'm ready to be done. Did I like it or do I just love the cover? Girl, yes, because you met him maybe 2 business days ago. They're about to start popping like it's 12 a.m. They've been popping like it's 12 a.m. January 1st, 5 hours ago. Hey, welcome back to my channel. It is January 1st, 2025. I'm about to start working on my first reading vlog of the new year. I'm gonna be doing the ABC challenge, the alphabet challenge, basically reading books where the first letter matches with the letter of the alphabet. A through Z, 26 books. I'm starting with A through E. I'm just showing you now. I'm gonna be reading them out of order, but once I edit, they'll, like, they popping bombs. I'm gonna be reading them out of order, but once I edit, they'll be in order. But I just want to show you guys what my first book of this video and of the new year is gonna be. So I'm starting with letter C for Cross the Line. I also need to pick some tabs. What they popping? Like, they might as well be shooting guns out there. I will come back with book A, whatever that is. Oh, I do know what it is. Now that we're done with the bull that is the beginning of this video, we can get into letter A, the aisle 9. I don't know how this is gonna go. I told myself last night, because I have the audiobook of this, I will be listening to it. It's not that long. I will most likely finish this before it's time to go. So I was like, let me at least just read chapter 1 tonight. I was bamboozled because when I flipped the page and I got to part 1, flip it again, it shows you this coupon. So I was like, let me go ahead and play the audiobook because I want to see how that's going to read to me, just in case they have other types of things in there, which they don't. That's the only thing. But then I read it, you know, with my eyes, and the city is called Sundown City. I can't tell you how many times I've reread it because I'm like, am I reading this right? I'm going to keep reading because I want to see if that's going to be further explained in here. Basically, they have this guy who's working, I guess it's a grocery store. On aisle 9, there's a portal or portals to hell. It's normal for a demon to escape and then he's running for his life. Ever since these demons, you know, they pop out on the regular, his life has gotten worse and worse. He has no family, no friends. He can't remember his life before. I only read the 1 chapter. I don't know what that means. But at least he can be near the girl he's crushing on, Kyle Kwan, a junior member of the monster fighting vanguard who seems to hate Jasper for reasons he can't remember or understand. Jasper and Kyle learn they both share a frightening vision of the impending apocalypse. They're forced to team up and uncover the uncomfortable truth about the hell portals and the demons that haunt the world, because the true monsters are not always what they seem. The past is not always what we wish, and like it or not, on Black Friday, all hell will break loose in aisle 9. I'm not usually into dystopian books because dystopian doesn't give dystopian anymore. Let this be the last dystopian. It is the end of the workday. I did indeed finish aisle 9. I just finished reading the epilogue, actually. It's not a bad book. I would most likely give this a 4, but I just can't get over the town being called Sundown City. Maybe I'm overthinking it. Hold on. Look at this man. What do you want? What do you want? What do you want?
I want to be on the camera.
What do you want? Speak through the glass. Speak through the glass.
Let me be on the camera.
Hurry up. I'm going to edit you out. I'm going to edit you out. What do you want? What do you want?
I know you're here.
Yeah, it wasn't that bad. I think, honestly, the most interesting part about this book was reading how the world was, or wherever, you know, this took place, Sundown City apparently, and how crazy people were. I feel like it was a little comedic at times, a little humorous. The demons were dangerous, but the way that they were described, they looked funny. Like they were funny looking. I'm probably gonna give it a 3. B is for Blacktop Wasteland by S.A. Cosby. This is about a man who is a husband, a son, and a father who is the best getaway driver. He was retired. Money is gonna get tight for him, and he goes back into being a getaway driver. Hot. I don't want to take it all off. Blacktop Wasteland. I am not finished yet. I tried to find where I was in the audiobook. I think I'm somewhere in chapter 20. I have about this much left. I'm really enjoying this. I don't know how much I like the audiobook. Like, the narrator is fine, but what I mean is there's a lot going on in the book. When we get to certain chapters, we know that we're focusing on a certain person, and out of nowhere, like, I was probably 80 pages in, and all of a sudden I wasn't really paying attention. Apparently the way that it was reading, it sounded like it was someone else, and it was. So we had switched to someone else instead of Beauregard, which is his name. I'm scared. I don't know how this is gonna end, and I'm nervous because the way that we've been introduced to, I think he goes by Bug. I like him, and it's like he's just really down bad right now, you know? Everything costs money. One of the kids needs braces, the other one needs to go to college, rent is due, mortgage is due, whatever it is. So it's like, I like him, I feel for him, and I just don't know where this is gonna go. Already it's taken a turn. Oh, by the way, the reason why I was nervous to read this is because it's crime fiction, and the way that the synopsis reads, it sounds very generic, and I'm thinking he's gonna be doing all kinds of different things, but this book focuses on one event, and it's him getting back into that life, and he is the getaway driver for one thing, and this one thing, it's gone haywire, which is why the length of this is perfect, 280 something pages.
Start thrifting clothes like that. All had stains and stuff on it. No?
When you bring clothes and they bring it to Goodwill, do they have stains on it?
Me?
Yeah,
No.
okay. I want you to know that we are not impressed. You gonna learn today, I scalp up for less. I just finished Blacktop Wasteland. This probably took about 2 hours. I do not know how to feel about this book. I would say this is like a 4.5 to a 5 star. I just don't want to give it a 5. I'm gonna probably give this a 4.5. I'm glad that I finished it off physically with my eyes because there was so much action and nothing could have prepared me for how much that was going on, especially once I hit that 200 page mark, and I think it would have been too confusing to listen to it. But I did bookmark an area. I think I'd said earlier it was difficult sometimes listening because sometimes it would switch to someone else and I didn't realize it. And this is, I don't want to show the whole page because it might spoil something, but there's this little gap here, and from this top line to like the next, well, the page before, we're in Beauregard's POV, like that's who we're reading, and then all of a sudden we get this little gap or indentation between the two texts, and then right here we start with someone else. And when I'm reading it physically, it's fine because I see that there's an indentation, so I know to pay attention to whoever's name that we start to see, because I know we're going to be switching people. But when you're listening to it, there's really no pause, and it's like if you're not really paying close attention, you might miss it. And I had to go back a couple of times, so I'm glad I finished reading it with my eyes. I do have some notes because I didn't want to forget things. This felt like I was reading like season 1 of any type of action movie. Like, think of something like Queen of the South or What's that other show we used to watch? Oh, The Cleaning Lady. Another thing, where were the cops?
Luca?
Luca. Where were the cops? That's what I want to know. This was giving Fast and Furious whenever they're just racing down the street. Where are the cops? There are some cops at the beginning when they rob the jewelry place. That's at the very beginning. That's kind of what takes place, and then things unfold after. And there were cops for that. I guess it's because of where it took place, whereas the rest of the story, I think, takes place in like a small town in Virginia, maybe. No cops, apparently. I will say, some scenes were hard to imagine because so much was going on, and I didn't want to go back. So I had to read it kind of slow so I could really digest and take in what I was reading. This also is a pretty short book, but I think once that action starts to take place, boom, 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 things are happening. People are being killed. People are being shot at. It almost made it feel like, oh, this feels a little long, even though it's not. That didn't really bother me. The ending, I do not know how to feel about the ending. I don't want to mention a specific show because I feel like if I do and you've seen it, then I might spoil how this book goes. But I'm not surprised by the ending or how the ending could have gone or how you interpret the ending. Because there's a show, I watched maybe the first 2 or 3 episodes. I wasn't into it. I'm not in... Oh, let me take this off. It's a little hot. I'm not into that kind of show anymore. I do know how it ends. And I feel like this book is very similar. The ending, it went the way it should have gone, if that makes sense. And I'm just perusing the blurbs at the end by authors. I'm not familiar with any of these authors. Walter Mosley, whoever that is, says diamonds and fast cars, trailer park dreams, and late night illegal street racing. S.A. Cosby reinvents the American crime novel. Blacktop wasteland thrums and races. It's an intoxicating thrill of a ride. Yes. Yes. I only have Stuart Graph, and now that I don't have to be picky about my rating, like whether I'm gonna round down to a number or up, now it's like I don't know what to give books. I could give this a 4.5, a 4.75, a 5-star even. I don't think it's gonna be a 5 though. I love the action, but sometimes it was so much action that I wasn't able to picture what was going on because it was just so packed. Letter C is for Cross the Line. This was at the beginning of the video. I started off New Year's with this book. I'm still reading it. I'm glad I'm still reading it. I was worried that once I started this video, I would already be done with this, but I'm not. I'm on page 130. Quickly, this is an adult romance. We have brother's best friend in here. He is a Formula 1 racer, whatever the hell that means. She's into marketing. They have some kind of past together. It's not second chance or anything, but they did share a moment, like they kissed or something, and they've kept it a secret. No one knows, not her brother. Her brother's name is Oakley. This is, who's this? This is Dev. He is Indian and white. Willow. I believe Willow is black and white. It's their dads that are white. He gets into some PR trouble. She is into PR. She's not like a professional necessarily. She's actually looking for a job. He ends up hiring his best friend's sister, and that's kind of where I'm at. She's going to be following him to all of his races and, you know, just working for him and working for the team that he's managed under. What I'm really excited about this book is the best friend's brother aspect, or the brother finding out aspect, because her brother does not play. Her brother does not play. So I'm excited to see how that unfolds.
5 minutes later.
It's hard out here for a pimp. Oh, when you gotta get this money for a pimp. Y'all, I'm ready to be done. I started this book on January 1st. I finished 2 books since, and I'm only on page 280. The one thing that I don't like about doing these check-ins is I say what I want to say, but then when I get to the end of the book and I finish it, all of a sudden I have nothing new to add, so I end up just summarizing what I've already said. I'm gonna say it again anyway later on, but this is too long. 399 pages exactly. So I gotta finish today. Today is January 6th. Ooh, child. I don't want to say that out loud. That brings back so many memories. I have to put on my big old jacket because it's cold in here. I just picked up the book. It's after 4 o'clock. It's after 4:30. I'm determined to finish it today. It made me realize something, and I want to mention it now because I don't feel like this would be something that I mention at the end. But I'm finally getting to some smecks. With this much left, by the way. Just this much left. And it made me realize one of my favorite things about romances, because I kind of skim spicy scenes now. If I want to read something spicy, I'll go and read an erotica, right? If I'm in the mood for it. When it comes to a regular old romance, I prefer no spice or just light spice, like one scene where I can just skim it. What I love more in romances are everything else, like the other aspects of the romance, the hand holding, the banter. When I think about all of this that I've read, we didn't get that. Maybe some stolen looks, maybe a little banter, but that's about it. There was no dates, you know, which again, this is also forbidden because it's brother's best friend. I cannot wait for Oakley to find out, by the way. I've said that already, but yeah. A lot of the regular old romances that I read, all of those moments that we get leading up to the spicy scenes, we don't really get in here, to be honest. But yeah, I'm getting to this and I'm thinking in my head, like, finally, we getting somewhere. So hopefully after this passes, we get more moments of them together. What's up, what's up? What's up, what's up, what's up, baby? Updates. I was able to finish Cross the Line last night. I don't know what I'm gonna give it. I'm not giving it a 4. I don't want to give it a 3. Wait, let me get comfortable. Hold on. Check the fit. I never know what I'm wearing. I have this sweater. Y'all can't see. It looks dumb. And then I have some socks on. I'm in between a 3.5 and a 3.75. I'm leaning more towards a 3.75 because it is closer to a 4. And I mean, I tapped the hell out of this. Did I like it or do I just love the cover? First of all, too long. 399 pages. This could have been 299. Romances are more so character driven, and at the forefront of the plot is the actual romance. But I always say romance books are about 80-20. 80% of that romance and 20% of something else. If it's a workplace romance, it's that workplace. So we're getting 20% of that working plot, of them working together, of what's this project that they're working on. However, this book felt 70-30. It felt 30% romance and 70% him racing and cars. And I'm like, I understand Dev comes off as the main character. I think it's because even her job is surrounding him. Because her job is because of him. She wouldn't have a job if it wasn't for him racing. So he definitely comes off as the main character. I know I was also excited about the brother's best friend aspect, and I was excited for Oakley, her brother, to find out. But I wasn't that satisfied with it. I think we waited a little too long. I mean, they're adults, so I'm not surprised that it went the way that it did. At the same time, I think I also made it out to be more than what it was going to be in my head. And I was a little let down by how it went. Oh, I don't know what to do. I don't know what to do. Even right now on Storygraph, I have no rating. If I'm basing this off of just what it is, it's a romance. Was it a 3.5 romance or a 3.75? Does it matter? I'm not going to remember this book by tomorrow. I'm surprised I remember it today. I think I'm going to lean towards a 3.5. D is going to be a Kindle Unlimited romance. E is going to be another physical book of mine. Letter D is for digging up love. I am only on 53%. I swear. What do you mean I still have a little under half left? I feel like I should be at 70% right now. But I know that conflict hasn't hit yet. So this is on KU. However, it also has an audiobook. I don't know how that works. It's not Audible or anything. It's just on KU. But I know some books do have like the audio version on there. And if you have KU, it's free. All you gotta do is press, hold on. All you gotta do is press play at the bottom. I read maybe like the first 5 chapters physically, like with my eyes on my Kindle, and then I've been listening to it at work. I have mixed feelings. So this is about a girl named Alicia. Alicia lives with her grandparents. I believe she's biracial. It's mentioned quickly. Alicia lives with her grandparents. Her mom has passed. I don't remember the deal with her dad. And she's helping run her grandfather's restaurant. That's not her dream though. Her dream is to have her own bakery. She likes baking cookies specifically. She feels like she's stuck there because she feels so guilty. I mean, her grandparents took her in. She does have a younger sister, I believe, or older sister. I think her sister's younger. And her sister's gone. She lives, you know, somewhere else. It does kind of sound like her grandfather's kind of manipulating her a little bit. It feels like he knows that. And now all of a sudden, he's promoted her at his restaurant to be like head baker or something. She's the only one doing it. What happens is there's a bone that's found in her grandmother's backyard. They were trying to dig up a hole or whatever so that they could put a pool, and they found this bone. So in comes our MMC, Quentin, and he's some kind of paleontologist. Dinosaurs. That's Mr. Dinosaur. He is working there and he's excavating. Look, I don't know. That's not my expertise. I also failed to mention that Alicia's big dream is to own her own bakery in Chicago. She wants to move away. They meet, and I feel like the plot and this book is short. It's not that long. It's like 327 pages. I almost wanted it to be a novella. Just something super short. Not super short, like 100 pages, or maybe just a shorter novel than what it is, almost like them having a summer fling because he is there for a couple of months. The romance is cute, but one thing that I hate in books is whenever we get a very, very, very small glimpse of the characters, like very small, but yet all of a sudden when we have more encounters between the love interests, all of a sudden it's like their personality to me doesn't match up with what we were first introduced to. And recently that's happened a couple of times, and I'm noticing it in here. There was a part, now mind you, I was listening to it, so the way that it was being narrated was kind of like I would narrate that. But it was text messages, and they were, of course, the narrator. It is dual narrators as well. They were also reading out the emoji, like duck face emoji or heart eyes emoji or something like that. But the way that they were texting, I hate to like say, oh, like that's too childish to be texting like that. He's 30 something, she's almost 30, she must be like 29. But it was coming off like some teenagers. It kind of gave me the ick. Oh my gosh, the amounts of LOL. The sweater. Did I show y'all my sweater before? It's giving cheetah girls. Whatever Chuchi said. Not Chuchi, Bubbles? Which one was Bubbles? Chuchi, Bubbles. I think she was Chuchi. I forgot what her name was though. Adrian's character. I finished whatever I said, digging in the deep, digging up love. I might give it a 3.75. I low-key feel like I should have read this as a physical book, not even an ebook, something just physically from the library or something, like a physical paperback, hardback, whatever. It felt really long. I'm not gonna lie. It felt really long. It's only 327 pages. I got more into the book once we get to where things are going wrong. They're not really messing with each other like that. Things are is that an ambulance? When things started going wrong, I was invested. It feels unfair to give it a 3 because at first I was like, yeah, this is gonna be a 3-star. But honestly, I think I'm gonna give it like a 3.75. It wasn't horrible. I love the ending. I just wasn't that invested in like that first half. And not even the first half. Like, I enjoyed the beginning. So I guess maybe if we're looking at the progression of a book, you know, the beginning, the middle, the end, I would say between 20% and like 60%. I wasn't that invested in it, but then like from 65% and on, you know, I like. And finally, letter E is for X Marks the Spot. This is one of my newer books that I actually bought from Barnes & Noble because I had a Christmas gift card. This is about Gemma. Now, Gemma is not really connected with her roots. Her mom's side is from Taiwan. Gemma here was under the impression that it's just her mom. She had no grandfather or grandma. Come to find out, she did have a grandpa. The problem is, now he's kaput. That's how she finds out. The man who was in charge of his will had been trying to get in touch with her mom, and she was like running. He ends up catching her at home. The mom is not there, so Gemma answers the door. There was a situation that happened prior to that, so she knew who he was. Look, I'm in charge of your grandfather's will. And she's like, grandfather? I do not have one. You know, I didn't know I had one. And he's like, yes, well, this is what he's left someone, you know, you or, well, actually, I think it was her and her mom. I think both their names were on it. In this chest, it looks like junk, newspapers, stuff like that. And the mom said that's how he was. However, in this chest, there's some kind of message, like a riddle. And she is under the impression that there's more to this inheritance than it seems. And she needs to go to Taiwan to snoop around his home and stuff because it seems like he's left riddles. Now, in comes Xander. This is Xander. Xander and Gemma went to school together. Now, actually, this is technically YA. Personally, I would say this is new adult because at the very beginning of the book, they both graduate from high school, but they are 18. Anything that's not in a high school setting is not YA. I don't know what to tell you. So in comes Xander. Now, Xander is also from Taiwan. He has this program called TARP. I forgot what it stands for. She ends up deciding the best way for her to get to Taiwan is to go through him and his program. And that's what she ends up doing. So where I'm at, I'm on chapter 14, page 104. They are in Taiwan. Here's the thing, they're also exes. Kind of, not really. They at least dated for a couple of months. Their parents had no idea. Now here's the interesting part. Apparently, her mom and his dad don't like each other, and they don't find out until they're at the airport and their parents run into each other. Eventually, I believe Xander is going to be helping Gemma along with her, what she has going on with trying to figure out this inheritance stuff. Here's me from this morning. I do not have my camera with me right now. I'm holding this with one hand. It keeps knocking the window, but this is where the light is. It's probably 6:40 in the morning. I'm curious because this is about her traveling with a group of people to Taiwan, and while she's there, she's probably not even going to be participating with the group a lot because she's going to be trying to find this treasure that her grandfather left her. And I'm curious if, I know that he's going to join in, her ex, I guess ex, they worked together for like 6 months, but I'm curious if the whole group of people that went on this trip are gonna help out as well. Just curiosities. Guess what? I was right that I said that she would regret not participating with the group because this program, I forgot to mention, this program that she's a part of right now in Taiwan, it's a group of people that we have become familiar with. After I made that video and I continued reading, I think the next page, she says, I feel an unexpected pang. I knew going in that I would miss out on activities and getting to know the others, but I didn't expect how much I would want to be a part of TARP once I got here. And didn't I say that she was going to end up regretting not really participating with everyone? Now, here's the thing. Where I'm at, she and Xander have not been together at all. And I mean, I'm only a little over 100 pages in. I was kind of expecting to see more of them. But I'm wondering if this group setting is working against it because now we have so many other characters that we're getting to know. They're all around the same age. It's very fast paced. It could be because I assume this is a standalone. The problem is I feel like it's almost working against it because I don't know if I'm necessarily into the puzzles and the riddles, which, by the way, if you've read the Inheritance games, it is similar. At least it's reminding me a good... I feel it right here. At least it's reminding me of, a good bit of it. And I don't think I'm necessarily into the riddles and the puzzles. The book is very saturated in the riddles and the puzzles. But here's the thing, she's also figuring them out really quick. Mind you, she's really smart. It kind of reminds me of National Treasure, which National Treasure with Nicolas Cage is one of my favorite movies. I remember seeing it in theaters twice in the same day. My dad brought me. And of course they figure out things super quick on there as well, but that's visual. This, it's words on a page. Not only is she figuring out these riddles quick, I'm only 100 pages in. You know, what more could we be doing with the next 200 or so pages? The humor is not as corny as I thought. When I read chapter 1, I was a little nervous because Gemma was a little strange. She was a little weird. I talked about there being a group of people in here, right? That's a part of this program. There are a couple of guys. I want to say Ben and Jerry, but I know it's not Ben and Jerry. Honestly, don't think it's even important. She does kind of seem very close with this one boy. Mind you, they've just met. And they end up kissing. I think that's the part I'm on right now. Yes, the last part I finished. I highlighted it. And she says, it feels too fast and too much, so I pull back gently. Girl, yes, because you met him maybe 2 business days ago. And you haven't really been hanging out with them anyway because you're on your treasure hunt. I just hope that we get to more moments between Xander and Gemma soon. What the? I woke up today. It's Monday, January 20th, and it's time to lock in. I didn't read at all this weekend. Nothing Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. Nothing. I was actually pretty sick. I don't know if y'all saw, but in the clip with my green, I don't know why I'm pointing it out, but in the clip with my green sweatshirt, it's like very shiny looking. My nose was probably running. I started back reading X Marks the Spot. I've actually been listening to the audiobook as I read just to kind of get through it. I just got to a part. I don't know if I ever mentioned, there's a language barrier going on. Our main girl, Gemma, does not speak Mandarin. You know, she's not only on this inheritance hunt, or this treasure hunt is what I've been calling it, but also just being a part of this program and being around other people around her age and getting to know them, and they all share the same culture. I think is really good for her specifically since we're in her POV. But one thing is she does not know Mandarin, and that's also gonna be how Xander starts to help her because he is pretty knowledgeable in Mandarin. He speaks it. They're visiting some place. Something happened. She must have ate something. She needs to use the bathroom. Like, she needs to poop. She needs to bust one in the toilet. Doesn't know where the bathroom is, and she doesn't know Mandarin. And she thinks back to one of the only things that her mom ever even taught her when she was a kid, and it was to say, like, I think it's just the word poop. I don't want to say it like bien, I don't know, it's like B-I-A-N, and you say it twice, basically like poop. I need a poop. And she's just screaming it. Let me see. I guess this just makes her so real. I don't know. As Trisha and I go back to the Queen's Head to look again, it starts a rumbling in my stomach. A very painful one. Look, I feel you. That was me at work. Oh, that was me at work. I was carrying my poop spray just in my jacket pocket because y'all wasn't about to catch me slipping. And she says, oh gosh. Trisha looks at me worried. I don't have time to say anything. It's an emergency. Bathroom! I yell as I take off. She has trouble finding it. The employees I bump into don't speak English. Desperate, I do the only thing I can think of. I mime it. And and just as I've squatted, bent over, and start to use my hands. What does that mean? Like opening your cheeks? Oh, she probably means like wiping. Girl, that is embarrassing. She remembers bien, however you pronounce it. I yell both because it's an emergency and because the words popped so suddenly into my head. People start to stare. Mind you, she yelled this out. And the female employee, real, that's what it says, right? It says the female employee I was trying to communicate with finally jumps and leads me to the women's restroom just in the nick of time. What is going on in this book? I think it'd make a good movie maybe. Right now, I'm leaning towards a 3-star. This is why I should have kept my bonnet on. When I tell you, I didn't give a hoot about this book. 11 tabs. I kind of know what happened. I mean, I really don't care anyway because I'm not gonna remember. It's not gonna be that memorable to me. I mean, it was cool. I'm gonna give it a 2. I shouldn't have bought this book to begin with. I should know riddles. It's cool and all that, but as far as reading it goes, not really my jam. But yeah, this is my first reading vlog of 2025. That's it for today's video. If you have my notifications turned on, comment down below the bell emoji, and I will see you guys next week. Bye!